Hello, guys. I do hope you are well. Today, the story came from a girl who wished to remain anonymous. Story title: I feel like the whole group hates me after I got pregnant by their lifelong friend, my husband. Story: I am 30 years old. My husband is 43 years old. I don't want to get too specific, but I'm dating someone in a touring band. My husband, we'll call him Zeke. I met Zeke through social media back in 2019 when he was trying to separate from an abusive ex-wife. We met up when he was home between tours obligations. We lived in the same city and had some professional connections through my former job, so it was easy to make plans. I don't want to get too specific, but I'm dating someone in a touring band, my husband. We'll call him Zeke. I met Zeke through social media back in 2019 when he was trying to separate from an abusive ex-wife. We met up when he was home between tours obligations. We live, in the same city, and had some professional connections through my former job, so it was easy to make plans. However, he was concerned about the morality of being physical with me before he actually got divorced, so we hung out. I went to parties and met his band, their significant others. They were all aware of how toxic Zeke's relationship had become because they were witnesses to how he was treated while on their last tour. She was abusive in every way and didn't care if they saw. It was a little strange at first for everyone involved, which I thought was to be expected. Everyone definitely warmed up to me after a while, though. Zeke had been able to obtain a protective order against his ex while the divorce proceedings played out. So everyone was honestly just happy to see Zeke happy, despite how emotionally fraught the situation was. They were all getting adjusted to a new life, honestly. Zeke's ex had been with them for literal decades. I could totally understand how weird it would be to have an outsider enter into their scene and not really totally understand all the inside jokes and stuff without Zeke translating for me. It was slow but steady progress until they really loosened up and started trusting me. A year later, and I was thrilled with my life. Another tour started in early 2020, and Zeke asked me if I wanted to come along. I was between jobs at the time anyway, so I said, fuck it, why not? While on the road, I became particularly close with the other gals, and we had a great time hanging out together when the band was busy during the days of performances, setting up and practicing, or when they were on stage. Zeke's band members also became very fond of me. I could feel an entire energy shift, and I felt welcome. This tour was honestly fucking fun until the pandemic hit. Luckily, we all stayed in touch virtually, created a closed circle of contacts so we could hang out in person safely, and then eventually were able to hang out in public once things opened up more. Zeke and his band went on a few tours during 2022, early 2023. But I was still freaked out and didn't want to go. Fast forward to fall 2023 when Zeke was about to go on another tour, and Zeke really wanted me to go. I hadn't been feeling great physically for a few weeks. Vague stomach aches, heartburn, peeing a lot, sensitivity to smells. So I thought I was probably literally the worst person to bring along on tour. He seemed to be kind of sad because tour started right after his birthday, and birthdays always made him feel really bummed out. I felt like I'd be abandoning him if I didn't go as an emotional support. I found out I was pregnant at an urgent care while we were on the road. I delayed everyone by an entire day, basically, and felt extremely guilty. On the plane, I started feeling super sick and kept having to heave as quietly as I could into sick bags while Zeke rubbed my back. He was worried something more serious was happening and wanted me to see a doctor. As I was sitting on the table with an IV for dehydration, a nurse came in and told me my pregnancy test was positive. Zeke and I made up a story about my health for the band to excuse me when I left the tour. The nausea didn't go away for a while, so I'm glad I had the foresight to tap out. I waited eagerly for Zeke to come back, and he arrived with a ring and plans to get married at the courthouse. I said yes, and we invited like 10 people to come dine with us afterwards. They were all pretty surprised at how sudden it was. I assume they probably guessed, but whatever, we hadn't told them yet in case there were early complications. I've never been pregnant before, so I have no clue how my body responds. Over the holidays, we finally told everyone once I was 4 months pregnant. At the time, everyone seemed super excited. Well, I think they were full of shit. As time has gone on, I have felt a complete shift of energy in the group. There has been passive aggressiveness towards me and Zeke that I've never seen before. The entire band and their partners are treating me differently. They're at least more civil with Zeke, but they've still been hanging out without him and being super dismissive about it. He talked to them about it, and they had no explanation. They just said, "Oh, we thought you were busy." I don't know if I'm being crazy because of hormones or something, but that feels weird to do if that's not how you normally communicate in a relationship. They're usually really open with each other when it comes to plans, or why those plans fell through. It just feels cold now, like they want Zeke to seek them out or something. I mean, I'm not stupid. I understand that having a baby changes relationship dynamics. But I'm just so confused. Zeke's bandmates are normally super emotionally competent people and are really skilled at talking through issues. I've watched arguments unfold with Zeke and them before, and I've honestly been envious at how well all of them work things out. They don't stay mad at each other for very long, and I always felt like that was a really endearing thing. I'm freaking out like, did I ruin everything by getting pregnant? I understand that maybe that think we moved quickly. Is 4 years quickly? Is that a reason to be so weird? I understand if they feel like they are having trouble talking to me. I can wait for them to be ready. But why aren't they talking to Zeke? How do we proceed? What can Zeke even do if he's already tried to bring up the weirdness with them and they brushed him off? Is he going to have to wait for months to figure out if his bandmates are completely judging us? I feel really awkward and unsettled, and I feel empathy for Zeke. I don't know what's going on. What would you do? I want to invite them to baby-related parties and stuff, and I kinda hoped I'd have them around as friends to celebrate with us. Update. My husband and I are having a baby, but I think it's making his bandmates treat us both differently, in a mean way, now. Story comments 1. I have friends who are in this type of scene, and as we've hit our 30s, I've seen similar things play out. Explanation 1, and the most likely, is that they're happy for you, but they're trying to be respectful of first-time parents as they embark on their new phase of life. They don't exactly know how to be present and support, because after you say congratulations then, as a child-free, childless person, what else can you do? You have no advice or suggestions or anything like that to give you figure they need time, space to prepare for this monumental shift, so you back off and let your friends approach you if they want to hang out, instead of stressing them out by nagging them to maintain the same life they had before parenthood. Explanation 2 also likely and easily coexists with 1. They're happy for you on a personal level, but extremely freaked out on a professional level. Touring artists can be parents, but it requires a whole lot of planning and coordination among a variety of support networks. How long will he take time off after the birth? How much support will he need to provide once the baby isn't a newborn anymore? Do you have trusted family friends that will be able to care for the baby long enough so he can continue to tour? Dates and travel arrangements need to be booked with enough time in advance. How solid will his commitments be? Or will he end up flaking on plans because of unexpected baby obligations? So yeah, there's a lot. I wouldn't take it too personally. I'm sure they all care about you tons, and that hasn't changed. But people stress out a lot when their livelihoods and passions are threatened by change, and in this situation, they're helpless. It's all up to the new parents, and bringing up all of these concerns isn't exactly polite or supportive. But they're there. My best suggestion would be to reach out to them and invite them for a nice relaxed dinner. Beforehand, go over your plans and backup contingencies with your husband. When you've got the crew together, start talking about how excited you both are for the future of the band, how you've got plans in place for childcare and emergencies as they come up along the way. Make your positions clear and it'll ease a ton of the tension. Story, comments 2. Oh yeah, that's usually what happens. But there are also artists who are able to balance touring demands with family life, usually after the kids are past the baby stage. Depending on the whole dynamic, they're able to be very present parents. If their partner can bring a family member or close friend along to help care for the kid on tour, and everyone plans ahead to give them extra space, then it can be quite a fun family adventure. Plus, the audience really loses it when a cute little kid comes out on stage to help with a song. It's all about balancing the whole situation and knowing your audience. Chances are their fans are around the same age as the band, meaning they'll be a lot more understanding and excited about a band member openly embracing fatherhood. Huge difference between show is canceled due to unforeseen circumstances and show is canceled because Kyle is becoming a father. Please send good vibes. Fans can be super supportive, so don't be afraid to share a little with them. Story, comments 3. I had a baby at 37. Those middle of the night feedings are not easy the closer you get to 40. I'm also healthy and it was still difficult, not to mention being a high-risk pregnancy. I realize that you're hopeful that women can really put off having children for years. It just isn't the best idea. You don't have as many years to raise your children and help them get started in life. Do the math, having a baby at 40 means a 20-year-old child when you're 60. If you wait much longer, you'll be retired with a child most likely in college, on a limited income during the absolute most expensive years. It's not best for the children to wait until you're at age when those health risks become very real. I know enough mothers, both young and old, that I get to see those statistics come to life. More of the children of the older moms are not healthy children. Giving children a lifetime of better health, I would hope, is a priority of every parent. Lastly, people also don't drastically change. Most men and women I know that want children really do try to make it happen long before 40 because they want children. They enjoy children. They don't consider them a burden or impairment to life. Thank you so much.